Samsung, proud sponsor of TechBusters.
Google's Big Tent event was recently held at Vodacom World in Midrand, where we had the creme de la creme in the ICT industry. We also had the Minister of Communications, Yunus Carrim, as well as the father of the internet, Vint Cerf, who is also Google's evangelist, talking about the internet and the impact that the internet is having in the world. Our minister made some bold statements about reducing the cost of internet, giving broadband connectivity to South Africans by 2020, and set some really tough guidelines and tough targets to meet. I really hope that Minister Carrim can deliver.
Things have begun to improve.
It's around, firstly, ensuring that our broadband policy plan and strategy is finalized. At this stage, we hope to have it out by the end of November. Related to it is actually a spectrum policy, a new one for March 2014. Thirdly, digital migration. Government's made some mistakes, yes, we admit that. Now we want to move forward. We're being held up by the feuding between broadcasters and other private sector stakeholders about whether the set-top box should have control capability or not. Fourthly is to reduce the cost to communicate. Fifthly is to service mainly the underserviced areas. 788 schools more will be connected between now and the end of the financial year. The post office tells us they can deliver 50 more post office. Sixthly is to actually ensure that this policy review panel does its work. And we hope, if possible, to have a white paper by July next year, but maybe even before the elections, and then a new regulatory system, taking into account changes over the last 15 years or more, will be shaped. So those are around the things we're dealing with. There are various other aspects, so those are the key things.
I have a few very brief things that I want to share with everybody.
Vint Cerf is also known as the father of the internet, and he's the guy that envisioned the internet as it is today. He started off by connecting universities and connecting military facilities, and that's how the internet was born many decades ago, which is why he's known as the father of the internet.
An open internet is really important. The idea that anyone with a good idea can put that system up on the network and try it out without having to get permission from every ISP in the world is fundamental to the way in which the internet has created a growing economy. So you hear these terms, net neutrality and other things. The only point I want to make here is that the people who are operating the underlying transmission system of the internet shouldn't be able to abuse that to control and inhibit competition and the application of new inventions. This permissionless innovation is at the heart of the internet's evolution.
This is the way the world is going. We're in a digital revolution. In some senses very similar to the agricultural revolution we had and the industrial revolution. And the statistics are showing that those countries, not least on our continent, that have got their ICT plans in place and are delivering on them, are actually having increases in growth, development and job creation.
Well, the Google Big Tent event was absolutely fascinating. Some big statements that were made by the Minister of Communications and also the key players that really are the entrepreneurs of the ICT sector in South Africa. We've got a lot of work to do, but it does look promising and we have those targets that are achievable. The key here is to bring the internet to most South Africans and Africans across the continent and driving the connectivity costs way down.